Hello, what is going on? Hope what everyone out there is having a good Monday. It's been a very busy day in the world of politics as the articles of impeachment have officially been sent over to the Senate from the House. It was an event that I thought about carrying live for its historical significance, but I also realized they're literally taking these papers from one chamber to another chamber, like down the hall. So as big as a moment that is, I was like, I don't know if it deserves the full-on live treatment. But hey, thanks for tuning in, checking out Citizen Pete here. If you haven't already, do me a favor and like and subscribe to the channel. We usually try to do shows at 7 o'clock. Got a little busy today, a little behind schedule, but hey, hopefully we'll make it next time. We'll see. But yeah, if you haven't already, do me a favor, like and subscribe to the channel, and leave me a comment. I'll be watching the chats as they come on through here, and I'd love to know what you guys are thinking. Today I am sipping a nice whiskey to start the week, and it's gonna be an interesting one here in politics because there's and I got some very interesting stories on this episode of the show. So, with that said, let's get after it, y'all. So, Republicans bitch about Trump not getting support after the 2016 election, and they impeached Biden on day fucking one.
Just filed articles of impeachment on President Joe Biden. We'll see how this goes.
Yes, QAnon Congressman Marjorie Taylor Greene, I gotta figure that one out, it's a weird name, has filed articles of impeachment against President Biden. Though I'm glad that she at least got the president part there right. For what, you might ask? Well, the woman who just became the dumbest member of Congress is accusing Joe Biden for corruption and abuse of power by allowing his son Hunter Biden to, quote, siphon off cash from America's greatest enemies, Russia and China. This is almost too stupid to do a video on, but hey, here I am. You know, guess the crazy is here to stay in American politics. The first bullshit on this bullshit on Hunter Biden has been disproven a long time ago. Yes, the FBI is looking into his taxes, but there is no concrete evidence there was anything illegal going on in the first place, much less that Joe Biden was somehow in on it. And yes, I've seen the video of Biden talking about withholding aid to Ukraine. Here it is if you haven't seen it for yourself.
No, I said, we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Well, son of a bitch. Got fired. And they put in place someone who was solid at the time.
Oh, son of a bitch. That's always a funny little colorful Biden there. But yeah, Marjorie Greene shared that video with absolutely no context on what Biden was actually talking about. Biden did pressure Ukraine to fire a prosecutor, not because of his son, but because that prosecutor didn't go after corrupt politicians in Ukraine. And Biden wasn't solo on this effort. One of the co-founders and executive directors of a corruption outfit in Ukraine actually threatened to delay $40 billion to Ukraine for similar reasons. And again, Ukraine basically was like, okay, we'll fire this prosecutor and bring in a non-corrupt one. So yeah, that has been totally debunked, but they're just using that video completely out of context. But Major Taylor Greene knows a lot about using shit out of context.
How do you get avid gun owners and people that support the Second Amendment to give up their guns and go along with anti-gun legislation? How do you do that? Maybe you accomplish that by performing a mass shooting into a crowd that is very likely to be conservative, very likely to vote Republican, very likely to be Trump supporters, very likely to be pro-Second Amendment.
The QAnon Congresswoman has also said Muslims are invading Congress and they do not belong in the government. And she's also said black people are slaves to the Democratic Party. Okay. And now she's wasting your tax your tax dollars to file articles of impeachment on Biden's first full day in office. Again, Republicans are always saying, Democrats never gave Trump a chance, and they impeached Biden on day one. But really, this impeachment is going absolutely nowhere. And what this really is about is Green trying to make herself some quick cash. Text impeach Biden to 5544. So she's just trying to get some quick little campaign cash off this one. But this should be a wake-up call for Democrats and Republicans. You're not dealing with rational people who care about the rule of law. They don't give a shit about the Constitution at all. All they care about is the cult of QAnon. And that's it. That's all that matters to them. Hey, what is going on, everyone? If you haven't already, leave me a comment. Let me know who's here. I'm watching the comments during the show, and would love to know what you guys are thinking. So as we move on, it's definitely some craziness going on in politics, and one thing might be Trump starting his own political party. Shit is getting wild at all. But again, if you haven't, do me a favor. Like and subscribe to the channel. I would very much appreciate it. So now former President Trump is talking about starting his own political party. And here's a secret. If you're a Democrat, you actually want this to happen. So Trump is like a crazy ex, and apparently he is just not willing to go away. And now the Republicans are potentially turning on him. He's like, you know what? I'm going to start my own party.
The Wall Street Journal says President Trump has discussed forming a new political party. It would be called the Patriot Party.
All right, so here's what's really going on here. Trump is now openly threatening Republicans who are thinking of convicting him in the Senate. As I mentioned earlier on in the show, the articles of impeachment have officially gone over to the Senate, and Democrats need 17 Republicans to join them in convicting Trump. And rumor is they've got the votes. But it's not exactly clear what happens with these people going forward. Trump knows that the Republican base is really his base. And so he's threatening to split his own party, or start his own party to split the Republicans and make sure they never win an election again. Because if Trump has proved one thing, he doesn't really give a shit about the GOP. He really just cares about himself. And that's about it. And the thing is, I don't really think anyone should be taking this talk of a Patriot Party, very seriously. Does anyone really think he can actually get that off the ground? Paperwork and organizing is not exactly his forte, But yeah, sure. So a lot of people, Republicans, are afraid of his supporters. Like, are they actually gonna primary them or get them out of office? But the thing is, historically, Trump is not the first person to lose a major election and then try to start his own party. And it has not exactly worked out very well for him. Teddy Roosevelt started the Bull Moose Party after he lost the Republican nomination. And again, didn't do much for Roosevelt or the Republicans who lost the presidency, but it definitely helped out Democrat Woodrow Wilson. And so the thing is, if you are a Democrat, if you vote for the Democratic Party, you actually want this to happen. Republicans are stuck somewhere between QAnon and a hard place. And if Trump does decide his own party, it'll split the GOP even further. Yeah, Trump's starting his own party. Who would have thought that kind of crazy stuff would happen? So I haven't seen anyone leave me a comment yet. What's up, guys? It's Monday. No one chatting today. Hey, what you gonna do? But I do appreciate you guys watching, checking out, and we'll just keep flowing right on through. So, before January 6th, Republicans promised to fight like hell.
Let's have trial by combat.
But after shit did get real at the Capitol, with 4 people dying, including a police officer who was beaten to death with a fire extinguisher, Republicans are now changing their tune and asking for, you guessed it, unity. Yes, unity. Even going so far as, in one case with Josh Hawley, saying that if they investigate him, it will further divide the country. Yes, if they investigate him specifically. The thing is, they want you to forget the weeks and weeks of lies they told around the election that led to the storming of the Capitol, and now they just want to move on. You know, it kind of reminds me of another attack where 4 Americans died. On September 11th, 2012, 4 Americans, including Ambassador Chris Stevens, were killed when terrorists stormed the outpost in Benghazi. This all happened under the Obama administration and then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, who had to sit through hours and hours of testimony on her role in the attack that again happened on the other side of the world. And there were so many investigations, she even, changed her hairstyle, as she has different hair set up throughout these pics. And now, all of a sudden, when they're the ones being investigated, they're like, no, that would divide the country. Let's do the unity thing, right? It's almost like as Americans, we're stuck in an abusive relationship. A man hits his wife and then wants to blame her for riling him up. And that's exactly what's going on here. But hopefully, one day, we can just go ahead and dump some of these assholes and move on with the rest of our lives. Yeah, keep rolling on through the show. I feel like the shows, I'm kind of going through it a little fast. Honestly, I'm a little hungry. I'm a little hungry. So getting dinner after this. Gonna be good. Anyway, as we move on through the show, if you haven't already, do me a favor. Subscribe to the channel. I'd appreciate it. Sign up for notifications, comment, like. And again, check out the live show. I'm trying to do this Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So check it on out. So one of the last things that Trump did before he left office was sign the latest COVID-19 stimulus bill to increase unemployment benefits, which is a big reversal from what his posture on the unemployment benefits before. And it looks like his former staff is really gonna need it. Because after supporting Trump in the Muslim ban to his failure on COVID and all the way up to the insurrection, Trump's loyalist followers have been having a hard time finding a job outside of the presidency. It's a bit of a shocker. No one wants to hire you after your supporters storm the Capitol. So typically when a president leaves Washington, their staff and aides are able to make some serious cash when they're gone. I mean, so the thing is, this is the swamp that Trump's always talking about. Spending years next to the most powerful man in the world does have its perks. And most administrations, after most administrations, a lot of these loyalists, a lot of these staffers and aides get jobs in corporate America or with lobbying firms because they've got direct access to the people in charge. And, this is not working out so good post-Trump. And really this whole process is what he calls the swamp. And honestly, he's not wrong. It's corrupt as hell. I mean, there's I've seen senators who get voted out of office and then all of a sudden they go work with a big company like Boeing and get paid, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to sit at a desk and do absolutely nothing. But apparently that's not happening for a lot of these Trump officials. According to Politico, some aides are they're basically just screwed right now. According to a staff or a Republican strategist, a lot of the Trump's staffers are tainted by his reputation, with several aides described an increasingly bleak job market with virtually no chance of landing jobs in corporate America, and some have even seen promising leads disappear after the Capitol riot. A former White House official said they knew of people who actually got jobs rescinded because of what happened on January 6th. And a Republican strategist was much blunter. He said, and I quote, "They are really fucked. They were told over and over to take their hand off the hot stove, and they didn't want to listen." So do the rank and file folks at the former Trump administration officials will probably be filling out unemployment paperwork very soon. But hey, there's no shame on that. If the pandemic has taught us anything, your job could be gone at a moment's notice. But, that's what happens when you help launch an armed insurrection against the federal government. But hey, don't worry, y'all. There's plenty of other dictators that could totally use your service. Kim Jong-un, or I should say Vladimir Putin is an option. Or there's Kim Jong-un. He's an option. Though you might be executed. So I don't know if that's choice number one there. And potentially, you could also hit up Vladimir Putin. And I'm sure Trump would be willing to give you a great reference. Apparently, they're very close. Little cold in Russia there, but hey, Putin is definitely an option. I mean, you guys have a lot of dictator support experience on your resumes. And hey, don't worry about the FBI. Just send in those resumes, Team Trump. If you're screwed here, you might as well go off and find a job somewhere else. Yep, welcome back to the show. We're just kind of rolling on through here. I guess I've been on air for 23 minutes. I've been trying to shorten segments a little bit, maybe kind of get them flowing a little bit better, a little faster, help out with some of the production here. But I'm making record time. Maybe these segments are too short. Hey, I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments as I'm just kind of rolling through the show. But this next segment is one that I had a lot of people told me maybe I shouldn't do. That might get me in a little bit of trouble. Some stuff people might not want to hear. But hey, maybe give me a favor, like and subscribe if you like this one, and I'd appreciate it because again, this might not be my most popular opinion. So you don't know who I am. And I don't know how you found this video, but if you did, subscribe. Much appreciated. But if I promised to give you $2,000, you'd probably vote for me. And honestly, I think that shit's illegal. According to federal law, and blow this up for you a little bit here, whoever accepts or receives any such expenditure in consideration of his vote or the withholding of his vote shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 1 year or both. I guess federal law doesn't say his or her vote, but they should definitely update that one. But again, they shall be imprisoned or fined not more than a year, one or both of those. And I'm no legal expert, but did Democrats break the law by promising voters in Georgia that they would get $2,000 if they voted for them? If offering someone money for votes is legal, that's kind of what's the difference between that and what Democrats again did in Georgia. I mean, I get it. People need help with COVID. I mean, it's destroyed our economy, and I'm definitely not against stimulus checks. I think they should be rolling them out much quicker, and I think, that's going to be huge for getting our economy going and moving forward. But again, words matter. We can't analyze all the words that Trump said and then turn a blind eye when Democrats, say some dumb shit too. And again, this is one of those videos I'm like, this might cost me some subscribers. But honestly, I don't care. And I kind of hate when I watch YouTube channels, and I hate folks who I become a fan of. And then all of a sudden, when their audience becomes, either Democrat or conservative, or they're Trump fans or MAGA fans or, whatever, all of a sudden they start crafting their opinions to appease their audience. And that's bullshit. I don't care about that. Politics isn't a sport, right? This isn't about one side always being right and the other side, being wrong. This is about holding our elected officials to a higher status, right? It's about holding truth to power, no matter what side that power is on. So again, I don't know if this is legal. I'm not a lawyer, but it definitely seems a little shady. Just a little bit. Yeah, welcome back for the last story of the night. We're at just a half hour for the show, which again is wild. Like I was trying to do maybe a little bit of shorter segments, see how that works out. But yeah, I don't know. This might be a little too short. I might have to adjust my strategy here. Excuse me, sorry about that. Because yeah, this might be flowing through too quick. I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll see if people like these segments more than the other ones, but. Hey, thanks for sticking on through if you're still here. It's been a real short Citizen Pete. Again, enjoying a nice whiskey. Hopefully you're enjoying a nice little adult beverage yourself. So, as we begin the next segment, the last segment of the show, I hate two things in this world. The first one is people who are intolerant of others' political beliefs, and the second, QAnon supporters. These people are batshit crazy. And apparently, they're right now posting some of the craziest shit on the internet because many of them think the storm is still coming because they think Donald Trump is still president. I'm not joking. My friend sent me this excellent little GIF here, little post, about questions to ask someone who thinks, for some reason, that Biden is still president. One, why was Biden denied a military plane bringing him to D.C.? Now, my friend first sent me this. I just kind of started just debunking things as I went along. They're really not that hard to understand. The first one there is actually, there's a very simple answer for that, because Trump is petty as shit and did not send him a military plane. There's also things about like songs, like why did they play different songs, or 21 gun salute, and all this kind of like bullshit. And it's like, yeah, none of that's in the Constitution. Yeah, the Constitution doesn't have okay, the president shall be sworn in with a 21 gun salute. That is not a thing. Also, why did the military turn their back to Biden when he drove by them rather than face and salute, which is an absolute requirement for service members? Which again, sometimes it's kind of funny with these things, these conspiracy theories, because if you actually inject logic into some of this stuff, and then it's really clear why. I mean, think about it. They're there to protect Biden. They're there to protect the inauguration. Kind of hard to watch the crowd when you turn around and salute the guy you're supposed to be protecting. All right? I mean, that shit's pretty obvious. I mean, how are you supposed to be keeping an eye on things when you turn your back to the things you're supposed to be keeping an eye upon? Makes absolutely no sense, but again, maybe to the mind of a QAnon supporter, they somehow make it work. I don't know how. Also, I saw this shit on Twitter the other day. Washington Monument and White House went dark tonight. No one seems to be able to explain why. Ooh, very creepy. Well, first of all, the bit of an echo there. Oh, sorry. Well, first of all, the Washington Monument, the folks there did say, okay, we're not sure exactly why this is why the lights went dark. That was a problem for theirs. But the lights of the White House, they've been dark for weeks, if not months. I mean, every night they turn the lights off. This is not something new. This is not crazy. I mean, they've been doing it for months when Trump was in office. And some people think that, the inauguration there was all a complete show. Trump won already. It's all a show. Of course he went golfing. He has nothing to do until he returns for his debut. So, they think this entire inauguration, watched by millions and millions of people across the world, more than Trump's inauguration, by the way. Not important, just thought I'd throw it in there. But they think this was actually just the show, and none of this was real. Yeah. Sure thing, bro. See, the thing is, these people are addicted to conspiracy theories. They're like gamblers in a casino. When the chips are down, some people, regular people, they just cash out and accept defeat. Others, they double down until they go broke. And so for these guys, the storm is always going to keep coming. There's always going to be some next thing. It's, there always has to be something going on there, because if they had to accept reality, they would have to admit that they were wrong about everything. And unfortunately, some people are either unwilling or incapable of doing that. Well, y'all, that's my show for today. Bit of a shorter one. I've been trying to go a little bit shorter on my segments, get a little bit more, kind of get things out faster, better. I actually had some folks that kind of looked at my channel and were like, hey, I love the content, but maybe if you can kind of get to it a little quicker, they might be good. So yeah, trying out that format, that different kind of format a little bit. Comment, let me know what you think. If you liked it, didn't like it, I would love to know. But that's me for today, y'all. I'll be back on Wednesday and Friday with some live shows. On Friday, I'm actually trying to hunt down a QAnon supporter I can talk to. So, look forward to that. It's one of those funny things I've realized with a lot of folks who are part of the QAnon thing, or really conspiracy theorists in general, is that they're very willing to type out crazy shit on the internet, but when it actually comes to having a conversation about it, they get very, very shy. So, we'll see if that happens. But hey, if I've said it once, I've said it many times. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, like the page, sign up for notifications, and I'll be back with more. But hey, again, thanks so much for watching Citizen Pete. Drink one to you guys. Very much appreciate it.